Hey, it's Rick and Kseniya back with your weekly recap, number 24. And I tell you what, we've got a surprise. So first of all, Kseniya, how has it been since we've last spoken to you?
I love this question from you, Rick. It's been great. And you know why? Because I had a so awesome time off. I've been to Georgia, had really small vacation, like 5 days, but it made a difference already. And of course, I missed Community Hub and all our community, activities and everything. So since you were in charge, I challenged you with that and you accepted. Tell me, how was it? How was this week?
Well, first of all, I was jealous because I like that really rich mineral water from Georgia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the most interesting sparkling water I've ever had in the world. Do you know which water I'm talking about?
Barjami.
Yes, I love that stuff. It's intense, but
Yeah.
no, it's
I think I have it somewhere here.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Good stuff. So I had some fun on the community this week, and that was the big change, is that Kseniya let me drive and pick our weekly winners or the featured posts. And I'm going to break the rules. Since we switched it up, we decided to go with 4. So the first one,
let's get it started.
Yeah, over in discussion boards, Malo, who's new to us here, he talks about something, or she, sorry, I don't know Malo very well, but talks about VDI backups. And this is a small thing, hence why it's in the discussion boards. But this has come up so many times about how do I back up VDI, especially nowadays. A lot of people might have remote work. Horizon is one of those platforms that people might be using. Miko gives you the recipe, go into the core infrastructure, manage the data profiles, good stuff. So Miko Paul gets a little side recognition here from Malo's post.
Great, right. Great. Okay. What's next?
Number 2 is a new poster, V. Chris, and V. Chris is talking about databases as well. And the database is what really drives, Veeam backup and replication and the other products as well. And if you have ever had to talk to a DBA and stuff like that, these are the things that'll prevent you from tripping later on. And CNAME and things like that, you're going to find that this is the part that vChris learned, right? Using this config utility is, the way to do it. So we've got a KB here, but again, walk into scenarios where what are you doing with the database, especially if it's external. These are tips that are going to help.
Yeah, that's great. And welcome with Chris. Look forward for more tips and tricks from you, for more content coming. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Chris is from Swiss, so welcome here, and that's his profile. Just joined this week too, so he joins and starts strong. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And so our third share that we want to highlight is from Michael Paul. Again, another Michael Paul moment. He's talking again about SQL databases, and this is a scenario where he had to help someone out. Basically, they had locked themselves out of the database, and Veeam support was involved. And so Michael goes through a great number of scenarios down to some low-level SQL commands of stopping the database and getting into the instance. Now, this is pretty low-level stuff, but it's kind of nice to know that you have these types of SQL elements at your disposal. Now, here's the other thing I would add as a little trick. Ideally, I'm backing up that SQL server with Veeam, maybe another instance if it's the Veeam database instance, right? So I always think myself about having Veeam ways out of that problem. So good shout to Michael Paul. And
yeah, looks great.
Am I allowed to break the rules, Kseniya, and go for one?
Yeah, you were in charge. You can do that.
I'm having a lot of fun this week, and guess who? Michael Paul.
It's the week of Michael Paul, tell me.
This might indeed just be the week of Michael Paul. And, the 32110 rule is great on premises, but Michael gives some insight about doing it in the cloud. And, this is something that I think is going to become more and more relevant over the years, where he's talking about the different regions or availability zones in the cloud and, having that off-site or off-region or even potentially on premises, right? You think about pulling it back. And then now, sure, backup we can't run from the from a cloud workload, right? It needs to start from a VMware or Hyper-V VM. But the other side of it is you can at least go in and do some scripting to look and see if you have what you want, meaning is your data intact? You could do instant recoveries. It could be manual even, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be automated. But I think this is something that's going to become more and more important for people over the years about having that control of their data. And it was, even though you were gone, Mrs. KZ, it was a great week in the Veeam community for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it was a busy week, Rick. And thanks everyone for your activities. Thank you for contributing. And I mean, look forward to the next Veeam community recap. Thank you for tuning in and see you in community.